fuck off. I'm together,
I'm picking on
okay?
you right now because
Very
you're not
much
all the
so.
way like.
Carmen was saying
I'm
how
gonna
you're
pick
too
on her a little
old
bit.
before you came back in. Something about being
Whatever.
too old.
Too old. We're talking about too old.
Yeah.
Blake took it
Yeah.
as me talking about you
And
being
then
too
that's
old.
right
I
when
was
you
saying our
popped in,
computers
right
are
after
too
she said too
old.
old.
Yeah, I said you need
Mhm.
to get your shit together.
I do. I'm quite sick and medicated right now, Blake, but I'm still showing up, okay?
Yeah,
Despite
Phil. She's sick and
Yeah,
medicated,
Phil.
sleep deprived, and she still showed up. Blake showed up living in paradise. Fuck you, Blake, living in paradise, complaining about his 7 a.m. wake up time to be
I
on the
know.
podcast.
Send a picture to Phil.
Fucking island he lives on,
Everything.
God.
Whatever island I live on.
Blake told us he had to practice waking up yesterday for the podcast. And I said, nobody cares that you had to practice waking up at 5 a.m. in Hawaii. Nobody cares.
We don't. It's pissing rain out here, so
It's raining?
mid-June. Oh yeah, it has been all week.
See, you'd be
So
talking about us in Dummyland, but us in Dummyland over here, we're having nice weather.
you remember that?
Say dummy land.
I'll never forget. Yeah.
I mean,
Dal feels very
Miles.
strongly about us Americans
Oh.
in Dummyland.
I thought she was talking about California.
Yeah, pretty much. Like who?
Who isn't talking about Californians? We look like a joke.
The Dow's map at home has Canada,
Yeah.
US, and then Hawaii.
Yeah, that's it. You forgot India, okay? And I'm
Oh, yeah. You forgot that. Oh, my God.
Alaska.
You forgot
That's
India.
hilarious.
Yes.
Alaska,
God, I gotta turn this
Alaska, India, same thing.
Yeah, same shit, man.
Same. They're both up there somewhere. It's
They
like,
both have tribes.
keep traveling north.
Up, round, down, I don't know, somewhere on that round globe thingy.
Wait, do they still teach off the globe or is it all just like flat? The flat map.
Honestly, I don't know, but I do have a globe at home. So
Okay, good,
I
because
can say that.
Same. We
Yeah,
have one. It's a
same,
decorative
right?
piece. I don't really teach
Oh.
my kids off of it.
Oh, well.
I was like,
Mine-
new homeowner, let's buy a globe. It seems prestigious.
You probably have that like brown / like gold rim,
Yeah.
right?
Fuck you, Dal. And then Blake's there. His background is a dog and books. So that's
Yeah.
that's his setup to look prestigious. But I know he has mic envy right now. He always has mic envy over my
Yep,
rainbow.
of the rainbow
I
mic.
know.
We need to send him one.
I still
Well, we
use
just need
the
So what's the
we need to
joke?
bring
What's
him
the
one.
rainbow joke? What are we joking about when we talk about
it's
the
rainbow.
It's rainbow.
a
He
big
likes
rainbow
it.
mic.
He
It's
has
thick and
rainbow
it's
envy
rainbow.
over it.
It's the what?
It's thick and rainbow. Two great things.
And I found the funny clip.
There you go.
I used to be jealous of Brian's thick rainbow mic.
Okay.
But mine's more lengthier and girthier, so I went there. I had to. I'm sorry.
It's
It's like he
representative
set me up
of
for it.
it's representative of Carmi's real life. Just kidding. Right. With
End
that.
scene, Sir Charles. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Oh, we're recording.
Yeah. Yeah.
See it now.
Beauty of editing. Hello.
Ain't
you don't get
nobody
the-
editing that out. Ain't
Yeah,
nobody
you don't
editing
get
that
the
out.
little like whatchamacallit, the warning on Zoom.
Yeah.
No, we just
Yeah.
hit
You have to
record.
agree to the recording in progress or whatever.
Yeah, isn't it? Do you have to agree? I don't think you do agree. I think
not
it
even
just
sure.
goes and
It
happens.
just
and
warns
you just hit
you.
okay.
You say
It's-
okay or log out.
Exit stage left. I don't want to be recorded on this shit.
Right.
All right, let me intro this dumb fuckery that's gonna happen right now. I promise it'll be
Yes.
professional at some point.
It won't be racist. We'll be good today.
It's just the fact that you have the superior nieces here. That's all. No big deal.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, well, welcome back to another episode of Breaking the Cycle, Redefining Weight Loss, Health, and Mom Life. And today we have not a mom. We have Blake Parado,
Dog
Gym-
dad.
dog dad, gym owner, also coach, and our friend sometimes. Kidding. Welcome, Blake. We are happy to have you. We're happy to have you mansplain all things gym ownership and fitness, whatever you want to explain. And
Blake's
make it
like,
make
"Oh."
sense to us females here. Kidding. Well, let's go ahead and just start with your origin story. How did you get into the fitness space? How did you get into owning a gym? How did you end up on the lovely island of Hawaii? Because we talk shit, but we're really just mad.
Yeah, we're just jealous.
We're mad and jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for having me, guys. Carmi and Dow, my friends.
Yeah.
I unfortunately always lived in Hawaii. I was born and raised here and never moved out of my
Unfortunately.
2-mile radius. Unfortunately.
That's such an Asian thing.
I know, right?
I had a really rough upbringing. I grew up in Manoa Valley, which, if you don't know, it's where the University of Hawaii is, and it's
Okay.
most 99% Asian and middle to upper class. So unfortunate, rough upbringing there.
Sounds like it.
This is
But yeah,
me playing my tiny violin for you.
I know. Sorry. Go ahead, Blake.
but what is pretty cool is, oh, hello there. Oh, my dogs are invading.
The baby.
The cool part is, yeah, I stayed in my little 2 to 3 mile radius of my valley and my hometown, and the even where my gym is now. My mom used to work at a bank that was across the street from that gym, so I grew up in that area. It's
Mm,
in one of the few buildings that are still standing because, like everywhere else, everything is being developed, and all the buildings around the building that my gym is in have either been knocked down and turned into condos or turned into something
Uh,
else. But my building remains the same. Although it was rumored to when I did open my gym back in 2018, it was with the understanding that that building is probably going to come down at some point, even though it's a pretty, I always
mm,
call it legendary, but it's only legendary to the people in that 3 mile radius, but legendary building in that area, which is
yeah.
kind of sad. But after the pandemic and stuff, the developers or the owners kind of pivoted plans, and now they plan to keep that building standing. So
That's awesome.
luckily, I get to have my gym stay in a building that I kind of grew up around, always been around. It's literally a 5 minute walk from the University of Hawaii, which I also attended. And yeah, so I got pretty lucky there. Never had to
So,
move outside of that little valley.
so what's your background? Like, what did you go to school for then in uni?
I'm at University of Hawaii. I ended up graduating kinesiology, but I actually started
Okay.
off as a computer science major.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Of
Typical.
course. No, I'm
Typical.
not surprised.
Not surprised.
not oh surprise.
More
Did you see
I
surprised
the
know.
at where you
shock on my
pivoted
face?
to.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a good question. What made you pivot?
Yeah, I mean, as you guys all know, I come off as kind of masculine and cool, but I actually am kind of a big nerd.
Neither one of us could keep a straight face. That was great, Blake. Keep it going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Growing up, I played a lot of video games, surprisingly, and like, yeah, played a lot of video games, played some Magic cards, Pokemon cards, and all that fun stuff. Was a skinny Asian kid. When I got into high school, I was already my fully grown, tall 5'7",
Yeah.
Oh,
but maybe like 100 pounds soaking wet as a freshman.
Oh,
So
wow.
I actually was lucky enough to start lifting. One of the coaches at my high school who just donated his time and took a bunch of us to just teach us how to lift and stuff, proper technique all the way from high school. The first exercise I learned was a barbell squat, back squat.
Mm.
24 years ago, he made me do like 10 sets of 15 with just like a broomstick. And then I couldn't walk for like a week after that.
my God.
Yeah.
You had the little scrawny legs.
Yeah.
Toilet seat sore. That's what I call it.
Off of air squats with a broomstick.
Yeah. Which is why thinking back to those times, I could barely even squat a broomstick. And then like fairly recently, I did the nationals competition and broke that millennial age record, the 35 and over record, and squatted 500 pounds, which was cool for me because I remember having to spot my coach doing 500 pounds and was like, I can't imagine even like loading that onto a bar, let alone squatting it. And it only took 24 years later for me to do it myself.
Wow.
Hey, right?
That's
That's
consistency.
and like called letting go of the timeline and still showing up and still doing the things. I mean, at one point, it probably seems like something so far fetched, and here you are now, 24 years later. You did it, so that's cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Even
Wow.
men struggle.
yeah, that's true. What was I even talking? Oh, my background.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got
Yeah.
into luckily got into lifting at that point. It was mostly to
Mm.
get bulk up for baseball, which was the only sport I played at the time and pretty much ever. One of my coaches, like in middle school and stuff, said that I might have a chance to actually play varsity at some point, maybe.
Mm.
Again, he was being nice. He said, "I just hit."
At the end of senior year.
Yeah, he was being nice. Yeah, like you might have a chance to
On the
play if you
last game, you're in.
if you get if you get stronger and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, like all excited, like. And then yeah, I started lifting, and then after that first baseball season's at the end of the year, so I lifted all throughout freshman year, and it's the last season. Tryouts came around, and we had like a tryout inter squad scrimmage where the team plays each other, and I hit like a wall. Like there was not really a fence at our field because we were a public school, so we just play on like the dirt patch. But what the non-existent fence, it went way past beyond what I was gonna do, and then was like, wow, that never happened before. And even my friends were like, wow, that never happened. The lifting must be paying off. And then I was like, oh, okay, I guess there is something to this lifting stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, put on some muscle and stuff in high school. I actually graduated. I came into high school at like 100 pounds and graduated at 165 pounds and grew a whole like half-inch taller. So
He's like, give me that half inch, damn it.
5'7"
Wow.
going to high school, and then 5'7.5" when I graduated.
Yay!
60 pounds though, that's huge. Huge.
Now talk
Yeah.
about what that looked like for you though, because did you have somebody helping you guide you on that, or were you like broing out through like the internet trying to figure out what to do?
No, I
Were you
literally
trying to
lifted with my lifting coach 5 days a week for like 2 to 3 hours a day, all 4 years of high school, never stopped. I think we only took off for like Christmas and
what?
like the major holidays. Even during
So
baseball season, we would lift maybe the actual game days we wouldn't lift, but we would lift like the night before.
so was that part of like the program there? Or like
No,
I
I
mean
was
for
just
someone
lucky that I mean, he was a
yeah,
coach
yeah.
for the softball team actually, Coach Clay, but he just for people who were dedicated and stuff and really wanted to learn
Mhm.
and were willing to commit to every day. Like you couldn't skip a day or you're gone.
Oh, wow.
He was willing to
Well,
sacrifice
props
his
to
time.
him. Like,
Yeah.
that's just incredibly like, you don't hear about that, like, someone
No.
sticking around, a role model like that to teach kids and put in that time every day, day in, 5 days a week for 4 years. That's yeah, wow.
Yeah. And
But
then
it's also not a huge
Kudos to
emphasis
Clay.
though, right? I mean, correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong because
oh
I
no
didn't
way.
play
Yeah.
high school sports. Like, I mean, I know that like in high school, at my high school, the football players and stuff, like there was a gym they would lift, but it was just
Mhm.
like let's get in and let's do it, but like never like an emphasis on why, for what reason. I mean, would you say that that's probably lacking in high school sports and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. I mean, definitely. And especially in like public schools, private schools might have a little more luck and have
Yeah.
the funds to have someone to be there to teach and stuff. And I actually worked at a private school for a little while, a couple years
Okay.
ago. And it's like, yeah, there's
Okay.
definitely not this in public schools. And then, like you're saying, back in our day, way back when we were in high school, the only people that would be in the weight room were the football team, like you said. The
Yeah.
football team, maybe the wrestling, and just a few people here and there. You wouldn't be
Yeah.
like maybe baseball was starting to come around in some schools to start lift and other sport, mostly the boys, right? Girls sports, no way they you catch them in the weight room.
Yeah. But
Now it seems like it's getting more and more where no matter what sport you play, they're kind of getting into the weight room, but not.
But that's still not a full it's not a full complete picture though, in my opinion, because I
Mm,
think I don't know if you were part of the conversation, but I was having a conversation with Phil and Dan. You might have been there because my daughter had dislocated her knee and we were
Mm.
talking about how to rehab her. And, because she is somewhat of an athlete, she's doing taekwondo. And it was literally she was doing some kind of weird kick and she just pivoted wrong and popped. But also again, because she's so tiny, she was probably like you to her teeny tiny legs that she has no stability and strength. So now I'm working on rehabbing her and also building up that strength in her quads and her legs in general. But I think that we're having that conversation where they were saying basically like they're starting to implement stuff for these kids, but it's still not the full picture as far as like recovery,
Yeah.
the mobility work, the what is it? Like the explosive work to teach them how to land
Yes.
mhm.
properly, stop properly, go properly without the injuries.
So my son Blake too, out please.
Speaking of
So
which,
my yeah, he's gonna be asked to leave here. My son fell on his shoulder playing soccer, was trying to be hero at school or whatever, and he has AC separation now. So now we're gonna start, and he's fallen twice after that. Like these kids, they don't know how to just yeah. And so I'm gonna be taking him to like a special kind of pediatric sports rehabilitation place as well because I listened to your conversation there and I was like, yeah, I don't want him having issues afterwards, right?
yeah,
Like if they
yeah.
don't. But I've also been seeing stuff on Instagram. Maybe it's just my algorithm, but like kids and lifting weights and how studies have shown, or the whole myth about like stunting growth and all of that, right? Like I want my kids to get into lifting weights sooner than later, you know?
So talk about that as far as in your gym, Blake. So do you have an age limit in your gym that you allow or that you're like, hey, that's too young, or all ages welcome within reason?
No, all ages are welcome. I had a 18-month baby in my gym crawling around and curling our I'm not even joking. Just we have like these dog toys that look like kettlebells and dumbbells,
Oh,
and
I
then
think
they
I
just like
saw that. Yeah,
yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
that. I saw that. I saw that. But that's important though, because you're creating like that whole atmosphere where like these young kids are going to grow up seeing this normalized.
Mhm.
So I think that that's amazing that you do that because here, the commercial gyms, I think you have to be 12 or 13 to
Mhm.
be able to
Yeah.
come into the gym. So I'm very lucky that we built a gym. So like now I can get my kids in there and I'm starting to drill them every Sunday and start working on like little things here and there with them. So I just think that's kind of a misstep in that sense where I get it. Like adults don't sometimes want to be around a bunch of kids, but maybe there's a need for certain days or hours where like kids are welcome.
Yeah, pretty much invite all the parents to bring their kids, even if the kids aren't there to train, just to
Mhm,
be, like you said, in the environment.
mhm.
It
Mhm.
makes it easier for the parents, and
Yes.
our gym is about kind of like eliminating every excuse possible to not go to the gym. So
Yeah,
we have
lowering
Uh,
that barrier of entry.
like the best location in town, in which no matter which way on the island they're driving, it's right off the freeway, and we have parking. We have pretty much unlimited parking right in front of the doors of our gym.
right.
Our cancellation policy is super lenient. We have a 6-hour cancellation policy for personal training.
Okay. I mean,
It's
it's
like
practical. I get it.
try beating that, right? Like, you can
Yeah,
cancel 6 hours
yeah,
before your session and not get charged,
Yeah.
yeah.
and a bunch of other things we implement. So, if like I can't come because I need someone to watch the kids, like as long as your kid's not going to run around and like
Yeah.
get in other people's way and throw stuff, get in people's way, if they just sit on the side and watch, or then usually the kids will be on their iPad or whatever for a little bit and then watch their
Yeah.
parent do an
Yeah.
exercise, and I want to try and like start squatting next to them and stuff like that. Yeah,
That's
I don't really.
exactly how it happens.
It's not
Yeah.
like, the kids don't have to be, even if they're not interested in working out yet, at least they're watching it happen from their parents. And then, a lot of times down the road, the kids end up training later when they actually start playing sports and stuff. So, just to
Yeah.
get the kids exposed to the environment, I always welcome them in.
Yeah.
And so there's really no age. Yeah, there's no age, what you call it, minimum or floor or anything.
Yeah.
Was that always your thought process though when it comes to kids and parents? Like, or is that something that you recently or just it developed over the years? Or is that just right off the bat? You're like, this is the kind of environment I want to foster.
If I want to sound smart, I'd say that was always the intent. But usually the
Yeah.
stuff that I do that kind of sounds smart, I usually just kind of lucked into it and stumbled upon it,
Right.
and then I take credit for it so that I sound smart.
That's how most of us like end up like on that finish line anyways. Like
Yeah.
honestly, it just becomes like an evolved thought process that becomes an actual thing
Right.
later on. Now talk about where did the thought process of you starting your gym, opening your gym come from? Like was there a catalyst for that?
Hmm.
Yep. I actually never wanted to open a gym when I became a
Oh,
trainer because I worked for other gyms, and I see, even going back to like working at a restaurant, I equated like owning a gym to being like a manager of, instead of being like being a trainer would be like being one of the servers,
mhm.
and then owning a gym or managing a gym would be like being the manager. And it's like, I don't want to do that. Like I just want to be the technician and do the fun part. So
Yeah.
I just did like what a lot of people do. And I tell other trainers that if you enjoy training people, that aspect the most, then try to find like what Andrew and stuff does, right? Like they rent
Hmm.
independently. That's really the best way to go if you want to just focus on training people, is renting independently from a gym. Very low overhead. Profit margins
Right.
are really good. If you charge correctly and you like protect your time, you can make a really good living and not burn yourself out and all that. But what happened to me was, after renting out a couple of gyms and it eventually not working out with the type of training I want to do, with like the semi-private and training like a specific, like an older and beginner clientele and stuff. We're looking around, me and my wife were looking around, like there's no gym that will accommodate us, or gyms that seem welcoming, or like doesn't have the environment that we need to execute our business. So we just decided that. And even when I left my old gym and we're looking to open our own gym, we're kind of in limbo, and we're still training for a powerlifting meet. So we just
Mm.
pulled a whole bunch of like free trials from all the different gyms in the area. So like 24, UFC, Powerhouse. I even took her to my high school gym, which she hated because it was basically a closet with no AC. And
Old and
it's like, this is
stinky.
where this is
It
where I
was the
trained.
Wild Wild West.
Yeah. And it was way nicer than when I was training there in high school. But I was like, and still she was like,
Somebody became a better
never
donor.
again. Yeah. Well, really, where we got our equipment from is there's the private school right down the street, Punahou, that same school that like Obama went to and stuff. But
Just slip that in there.
yeah,
Name drop.
It's a big
I
name
think they
drop.
have like his footprint or his handprint somewhere in the school. That's actually the school I actually worked at for a little bit too. It's literally right
Oh,
down the
okay.
and it's literally right down the street from my high school. And we have very similar colors. Like my high school is like red and gold, and that school, Punahou, is blue and gold, or whatever they call it, but basically blue and gold. So whenever they got new equipment, they would call us up and be like, "Oh, we're getting all this brand new gym equipment. We're gonna throw all this stuff away on the side. You guys can come and take whatever you want." And then so we
Wow.
would drive
Ain't
over,
nothing
look
wrong
at
with that, man.
we grab their stuff and it'd be way nicer than the stuff we have. And then but then it would be blue and yellow. So we just either paint over or cover all the blue parts red. And then boom, it's our colors now.
Boom,
And
done.
it's way nicer than the stuff we had.
That's what we Asians do, man.
Repurpose the shit out of things, man. Work
How
smarter,
much
not
free?
harder.
How much free? I will take it. We'll make it work.
But
So
anyway,
that's amazing. Yeah, you guys saw a gap in that and you decided to step up and do that. That's pretty cool.
yeah. So my wife, she was powerlifting me at the time. She was 100-pound, 5 foot nothing, and she could squat and deadlift over 200 pounds at the time.
Wow.
So I took her to-
Okay,
took her to
Carrie,
U-
I see you.
I know.
But I took her to UFC, and she's never been to a commercial. Besides, when she was still in college, and her friend would go in the women's area at 24 and just walk on the treadmills or elliptical. There was a women's only area in the 24s back then.
I know.
Yeah, and people don't even believe me now when I tell them that.
Yeah, that's kind of wild, right?
But yeah, anyway, but after I became a trainer, she's only worked out at the gyms I've been at, so they were all private, by appointment only, AC, everything. Took her to UFC, and then she walked in and she's like, "Whoa, this is overwhelming." She's like, "Where do I go to do my stuff?" She didn't know if she was allowed to lift in certain places in the gym or move equipment around and stuff like that, or it was okay to deadlift in a certain area. And I was like, okay, so if you, who is a power lifter and in great shape aesthetically and in strength, and late 20, or what were we? Yeah, we were 29 at the time. If you are intimidated and overwhelmed at all these gyms, now imagine 50, 60-year-old auntie who's never worked out in her life walking in. How do you think she feels when she walks into all these gyms? And she's like, oh, and it's so we were noting all this. We were going to all these gyms, noting all this stuff. More the feeling she had, because I can walk into any gym and be yeah, with my big ego and stuff, yeah, I own this place.
Yeah, where do I start?
Yeah, move out of my way. 5'7", 160-pound Olympic.
Move, bitch.
He's like, I need more room for all this muscle.
I'm used to chicken necking my way through and stuff. But
chicken. That's funny. So that's amazing though that you guys sat there and basically did pros and cons list, and then were able to kind of make your own list of things of your wants, your needs, and also the needs of the community for your gym.
Yeah, I pretty much didn't care what I wanted about my gym, for myself through lifting. And even when we buy new equipment, Carrie's like, is this for you or is this for the clients? And I'm like, for me. And then she's like, no.
Wise
damn it,
woman.
next time I'll lie.
No, but that's that's something though that we can touch on, because I know for myself, and I love that she was able to bring that perspective. You maybe not see it herself, but then for you guys to be able to see that even she can kind of and women in general, even for me walking into a commercial gym, because I've only done that twice since I started. I mean, back in the day, yes, but since I started 4 or 5 years ago, it was still kind of nerve-wracking for me. I still kind of felt a little bit weird, and I'm like, oh, there's to work out with the guys around, and yes, I have confidence, but still not having been in that environment. Yes, I go with Andrew, but that's different, right? He's
you
my
have a
crutch.
support. Yeah, you have a support.
Yeah. And so what do you see that? Obviously your environment fosters that, right? That acceptance that somebody probably walks in, a woman. Let's just talk about women in general. So what do you see in the space? What do you see in the gym? Do you see that with some women coming in? And
definitely, pretty much every person that comes, 99% of people that come to my gym are people who either never worked out in their life or tried to and didn't enjoy the experience, or they tried to go to the gym and had a bad experience, or worked with a trainer and had a bad experience. Usually it's something that was a bad experience and then they stopped working out or it fell off and stuff. I've people walk into gyms, they feel intimidated. Those are usually the older clients. Some of the younger clients, women in their 20s and stuff, they walk in and the men bother her. I think one girl even said she was on the treadmill at 24s and just random dude just grabbed her, and then she was like, I'm done and I'm out of here. And
that's so
yeah,
sad.
many all these different stories. So we took all that into account, and it was okay, what do we want the clients to see when they first walk in? So okay, what did Carrie see when she saw in the gym? It's a bunch of machines. Usually, what do people see? Usually a bunch of machines and a bunch of weights that they don't know how to use. And what do they hear? They hear loud banging and clanging and stuff, and stuff that would draw me
grunting.
in and chase every
grunting.
Yeah,
I was gonna say moaning, grunting. Who knows?
If I hear all that, I'm running faster inside, and everyone else is running further away.
That's my kind of party. More for me.
But so we took that into account. So even the spot we took at was a gym before, but the walls were all black. And then the logo was like the logo of the gym coming out, like bursting through the wall with like bricks flying and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, let's change that. And we made the walls all white, so it makes it more open looking. And then we
Right.
basically cleared the floor of all equipment. If you walk in, it's just the floor and the rack and like turf, and all the equipment's on the wall.
Oh.
So it's just a huge wide open space, and it's a big white wall. And then it just has and then the first thing they see is our dog and bacon flying out of the wall.
I love
So-
Wait, which
that.
dog? Which one?
Kobe, the one that passed away.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Your
'Cause he was
soul
our only dog at the
lived that
time.
one. Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
That totally just for somebody walking in, like, just puts them at ease right off the bat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's like-
very warm. It's welcoming. It gives you
Yeah.
warm and fuzzies, and you're like, okay, safe place. Got it.
Right.
And then like
I never thought about that, about like machines and all the things when you walk in could be very overwhelming, and how the difference of an open space could be a little bit more like, okay.
I even we have like TRXs and stuff hanging from the racks. And
Mhm.
then an older couple that was referred to me from my physical therapy friend, they walked in for their consult, and then they're like, "Oh, this is scary." And there was like nothing on the floor except the straps hanging down. And then they're like, "Oh, this is scary." And I
straps
was like,
hanging down.
"Yeah."
They saw straps hanging down. They're like, what rig are you about to set me
Yeah.
up on?
And then
What
no,
swing? What swing is that?
and I was like, "Oh, what
They're
do
like,
you
my
mean?"
leg goes
And
bare.
I was like, "Oh, what do you mean?" They're like, they pointed to the TRX straps. Like, it looks like some kind of like torture place.
Contra-
Yeah.
Yeah. They
And
thought they were
I was
walking into
like-
like a dominatrix den.
Yeah. And I was like, noted. So we now,
That's an M
ever
shift.
since then, we make sure that at the end of shift, when we close stuff up, all the straps are swung upwards, so they're not hanging down, they're hanging onto the rack.
Right.
Okay.
It's like, okay,
So talk
yeah.
about your older clientele. Well,
Yeah.
actually, you know what? We'll talk about that, and then we'll shift to like your beginners. Like, how does a day training the older clientele go for you? Like, I'm assuming, I don't want to speak for you, but you know, I'm assuming that it's one of those things where you're building up strength so that way they have longevity and independence. How does that play out for you guys?
Yeah, so we actually don't. I take age into account, kind of, but really,
Okay.
it's just like it's kind of like weight. Like if someone were to send in their consultation form and it says I weigh 150 pounds, and
Mhm.
it's like cool. If someone comes in like, oh, I'm 70 years old, it's like okay, cool. But there's either be 70-year-old person that's been strength training their whole life. It could be a
Mhm.
7-year-old person that's never seen a gym in their whole life, and 70-year-old that could be 200 pounds or like 100 pounds overweight, or a 7-year-old that's perfectly fine BMI wise.
Yeah.
So and no, yeah, the age I kind of take into account, but not really. It's more like all the other
Like their
factors into
lifestyle,
one.
their current lifestyle.
Lifestyle, yeah, what
Yeah.
they've done. Basically, what I try to get from everyone is, well, why they contact us in the first place. For the most
Okay.
part, it's usually like, actually, I was gonna say weight loss, but that's not even the majority anymore. Usually, it's some kind of pain, or they just want to get stronger. Usually, it's more definitely more quality of life inquiries more than like weight loss and aesthetic now. Probably
Mhm.
That's
because
awesome.
of the way the way we market everything kind of just leads to that kind of clientele. But anyway, age and stuff kind of is a factor, but not really. I just kind of figure out what they've done before, any injuries they have, all the information I need to get to a starting point. And then we just kind of build from there. And then, the only thing we take into account for age is if they've never really worked out in a long time, they're probably not as mobile. And
Yeah.
if they're on the younger side, like if they're a kid, they're probably hypermobile. Although some kids nowadays aren't even that, but
No.
they're probably
Exactly.
some kids now move like my older clientele used to move.
I know. It's sad though. It is true. You're right. A lot of sedentary kids.
And then yeah, it's just that if they're older, but then like I personally like probably don't take into a factor, but as coaches, we have like I don't tell people that age doesn't matter or whatever. We're going to do the same thing as everybody else, because then they're going to get scared, right? Like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
going to. So you gotta tell my coaches like take into account that they're probably worried about falling, so make sure they're not going to lose their balance around stuff, like clear the floor and all that. Ease into like jumping kind of stuff. Yeah, that people should know. Everybody should learn how to jump and land and all that, but keep in mind that the older people will probably be more afraid of doing it. So
Yeah.
approach it with caution, and younger people probably gun ho about it. So go for it.
Right. Yeah,
like that.
because I mean, so there are some differences, but it's just as far as when you say like those are the reasons why you would take age into account, but
Mhm.
otherwise, strength training is strength training, right?
Yeah, for the most.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
Because I think, what is it?
67-year-olds that can do stuff I can't even do, and they're like,
Talk about
yeah,
Yeah, talk about that, because I was going to jump into and segue into I think he's your teammate, the 81-year-old guy.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Benny.
segue into your 6-year-olds who are tip top shape, doing things way better than you, which is not saying a whole lot compared to you. But I'm just kidding. And then segue into Benny for us.
Yeah, so I got one. I'm not even gonna call him older client, but he's in his 60s. Client Mune, who's been with me from my old one of the first gyms I worked at. And he wasn't even working out for that long when I first met him. He was training with another trainer at that gym. And then when that trainer left, just moved over, I took over his training. But he
Mhm.
was already in his 50s and maybe we were working out for a couple years. And I don't remember how it came up, but at some point he wanted to do a standing ab wheel rollout. And I was like,
Mm.
okay, I can't even do that. I can barely do it on my knees. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Where you hold the
Yeah,
wheel. Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, from standing?
He wanted to do one from his toes. And I
Oh,
was
I'd
like,
fall on my face,
and
bro.
he's big. He's a little bit bigger than me, like a little bit taller, a little bit bigger. And I was like, okay, that's ambitious, but let's go for it. And but he was already pretty strong at some core stuff. And then so I was like, okay, how am I going to? That's probably the first exercise I taught someone that I couldn't perform myself. So like, okay, this would be a cool test.
Yeah.
So I was like looking up all these videos and reading, okay, how do other people do it and the progression and stuff. So I was like, okay, starting like an incline. Well, first he had to get the ones on the knee down first. He's like, okay, start from an incline, do like eccentrics and all that. We even had some funny after the fact falls or thing, like he almost got one and the wheel shot on him and he went flying in the air and like banged his forehead on the ground. And I was like, oh crap. But then he was laughing. So I was like, okay, he's
You're like,
okay.
You got all your teeth still? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But anyway, yeah, like he must have been like late 50s at the time, 60, around 60. And then he did like his first full ab wheel rollout standing. And I was like, holy crap, I can't even do that. Yeah.
impressive. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a lady that moved to Las Vegas, but she was 70 early 70s. And she was trap bar deadlifting over like 200 pounds pretty easily.
Love
Yeah.
her.
Good.
And
Yeah.
just
I
like,
know how hard that
just like
is.
smiling about it. Like, okay, what's next?
Oh my
Yeah.
God. What was her
That's the
top set at
best.
200 and something pounds? I'm jealous now because I'm struggling at 215.
Oh, you'll get there. Yeah. That's amazing at 70. Actually, one of my clients was like, my mom is deadlifting such and such weight. She's like, that's it. She's like, I'm gonna push myself more. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, you
Like
should.
you're 50 something and your mom's, and she's like, yeah. She's like, Dal, you were talking about that and pushing yourself. She's like, maybe I do need to push myself more. I'm like, yeah, get yourself some straps, girl. So she did, and she is
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, some lifting
I think
straps,
it's
right?
just
So
sad because I mean, I see it all the time with my older crowd. Like they're always like, aging sucks, or this is for the birds, or this or that. And I'm just like, and I have to bite my tongue every single time because I don't want it to come across a type of way. But I'm just like thinking in my head, like, but it doesn't have to be. It does not have to be. I'm not saying you have to trap dead bar lift 200 plus pounds,
yeah.
but I mean, at least be able to pick up your body weight at some point, like have some type of progression where you're getting strong enough to get there. And I just can't, I mean, I get these people who put their hands up in the air and want me to carry them off the table like a baby because they just have
Mhm.
zero strength. And I'm just like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah. It's funny. I was having this conversation with Andrew because I had noticed, like, just having been out with the girls and stuff and just seeing what was around me. And I'm like, oh, wow, I am actually able to observe and kind of reflect on where I'm at physically, strength wise, and what I'm capable of now compared to what I'm seeing with women, similar generation, and all of that. And it's like they wouldn't be able to squat and get back up. Right.
Yeah.
And then I go, but then when I'm at RCS, I feel like I'm the one that's like, hey, down here compared to, of course, I mean, you're with like the elite.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know, Blake. I know.
Has us all feeling inferior when we walk in the door, guys.
I know. But when you're in that environment, you like I do kind of feel like, oh, okay, I got obviously I have a long ways to go or whatever. But then when you actually step out of that and put yourself in real world,
Mhm.
not
Yeah, I was just
with a
gonna say,
bunch
because
of
I was gonna
fit
say, like,
bros.
I was about to get you with some perspective, but you're going there with it.
Yeah. So once you actually step out of that and but that was the first time I had that realization that, wow, like as a society, we are weak, like
Mhm.
physically weak. We are. And that's going to have huge impacts on you. And you might not see it as women. Like we might not see it right now while it's happening because we're so consumed by our kids and shuttling to school and activities and this, that. And you're maybe third or fourth on the priority list, which is fine. Or maybe you don't even, you working out, strength training doesn't hit that list at all. But that's going to be detrimental, right? And then you alluded to kids too, though. It's not just women. It's also now trickling down and has trickled down to kids. More and
Now,
more
would you
kids are not
say
active.
that would you say that that's because as a society, like they're basically mirroring what they're seeing at home by their parents, or because now there's more of this where they're stuck on their
Ooh,
phones, TVs, games, and stuff like that?
yeah.
Or is it a combination of all of it? What would you say as a gym owner and
I
a
think it's
certified personal trainer?
I think it's a combination, yeah, because even the kids of the parents who are active, at least yeah, they're jumping in and stuff, or
Mhm.
sometimes they're working out themselves, but they're still on their phone and tablets quite a bit. The ones that the ones that I'm really worried about are the ones that the parents aren't, like you said, the parents aren't active at all. Therefore, the
Yeah.
kids
Mhm.
aren't active at all, and they're on their phone and tablets all the time. That combination is very
Yeah.
scary for what it would look like for them when they become adults and stuff.
Well, because we know what's gonna no, we can foreshadow their future if
Hmm.
it keeps on going the way it's going.
And then, yeah, we
So,
got all the drugs coming out, right? Like, I mean, okay, like they might, yeah, they'll be sedentary and overweight, but okay, maybe they'll take GLP-1s and stuff to maintain
Yeah.
their weight. And then, like, Dr. Mike Israetel was saying, oh, they're coming out with drugs that
yes.
will help build, now they're coming out with
Must.
drugs that will help you build muscle even without having to do anything. And at some point, yeah, you can, it's not far-fetched to believe that you can just take drugs and get whatever the body physique you want, anything you want, the look
Mm.
aesthetic you want. But
I'm curious to read
inside
about
health,
that study because I'm curious to see like what kind of drug will help stimulate
Well,
muscle
it's
growth.
research. It's actually research in the making. Like this stuff is happening in the back end, and like we're
Yeah,
starting
yeah, I
well,
to
mean, it's,
yeah,
hear from
yeah.
right,
I'm
and
just
it's like,
curious
but
because
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we as certified personal trainers know that in order to build muscle, there has to be stimulus on the muscle. So I'm just curious to see like how are
Okay,
they going to
the
have a
pathways.
medication? Yeah, I'm curious to see how they're going to basically make a medication that's going to signal to, like you said, the neural pathways that are going to say, oh, your muscles are getting stimulated for growth. Like, how is that going to work? Because like
I
we
think
all
there are
know
drugs
GLPs.
already that can do that systemically, like throughout your whole body. They just haven't quite came up with a drug that can target muscle growth in just like a certain
Okay.
area. Because
Because
yeah,
it's
if you,
kind of like there's PEDs, right? But we all know that you can take PEDs, but if you're not doing the work to help said PEDs, you're not going to grow the muscle. So I'm just
Mm.
curious to see like how that's all going to pan out.
yeah, so the drugs that are already developed or but not approved and stuff, they already can induce muscle growth, but it'll be muscle growth like everywhere. So even like your cardiac muscles, right, like your heart and stuff, which you don't
Yes,
want.
yes.
Yeah, so you
It's
don't
not like
want
Be
that right
pinpointing.
there.
okay. You can't. Yes. Okay. So much like
So they're
everything, like
right
you
now.
can't
So
target fat loss, you
they've
can't
already
target
got
muscle
that
growth.
part down. They just need to find a way to target muscle growth, like just in your bicep or something, and not where you don't want it.
Not in your heart
Yeah,
and not in your
which
brain to where now like your mega mind in your brain and not in a good way.
Or some other areas, or who knows? Gosh.
Girl.
40 minutes in of behaving, that's pretty good.
I took it
Oh
there.
my
I went
gosh.
there.
You did. You did. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, okay, so some of the older people that you do, work with, do you find that, just generally speaking, s majority of them haven't really focused on strength training throughout their lives, or is it just a mix of everything? Like, some have, some haven't. It's just
I
a
think it just
generation, I'm
never
wondering.
crossed their minds
Yeah.
because even when, like we said, even when I was in high school and stuff, lifting was reserved for football team and for athletes, and in commercial gyms, when our parents' generation and stuff was growing up, gyms were just filled with either athletes or bodybuilders and maybe celebrities here and there. You wouldn't, there would, finding Gen Pop in the gym just wasn't a thing until maybe fairly recently.
Mm,
So yeah, people like the older, like my grandparents' generation and stuff, people in their 80s, 90s, and 70s, 80s, 90s
mhm.
now, when they were kids or yeah, when they were younger, that wasn't even a thought that crossed their mind.
No.
I'm not sure. I have no idea what the messaging and stuff was.
Right.
Say that maybe some of it I can attest to like my grandparents and them growing up in a third world country. And maybe you guys can relate to that in the sense where they didn't really have to focus on strength training. I think Dahlia and I
That
had a
too.
The
That
conversation
too.
physical
on this
labor. Yeah,
because they were
physical labor.
manual laborers. And
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
they built up their strength that way. And then now with the change in times and how everything is becoming more engineered and more like genetically modified, whatever, however you want to
Convenient.
say it, there's less hard labor across the board. Like you still got the blue collar workers, right? But like it seems like our generation of grandparents, aunties, parents had to be out doing some really hard work that built up that strength and muscle where they didn't have to think about that.
Yeah, I have
Mhm.
a fairly new 96-year-old client, gentleman.
96.
Wow.
Oh my God, post him, please. People
And
like
then
that make my heart
Yeah.
happy. They really do.
Yeah.
They really do.
and right now he's not very mobile and stuff because he had like a accident or stroke or something a few years ago. But he was always active. Like even his son was saying, oh yeah, he was in really great shape up through like his late 80s and stuff. And then like when they're doing stuff like rows and all that, and I see that he has biceps and stuff, like it's still there. And I was like,
Yeah.
you never lifted weights before? He's like, no. And then the son's like, oh, he's never told you about his times like in the plantation. And I was like, oh no. And he's like, and so he was telling me like, oh, his job all day was just picking up crates and stacking them
Yeah.
There
every
you
single
go.
day, all day. And
So
then,
he was strength
and
training.
then yeah, so his son would be like, oh yeah, I remember dad coming home and like showing his biceps and stuff like after work. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, if you're loading crates every day,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Day in
develop
and
some
day
mean.
out.
You're gonna develop some mean biceps. Yeah, and then he used to walk and all that. So yeah, like you're saying, that generation. Not that they didn't need to go to the gym, but they needed it less than today's generation because of most of their work was labor intensive. They had to walk everywhere and stuff. Even for like myself, I never had a problem like keeping like I'm only like 6 pounds heavier than when I graduated high school 20 years ago. But
So
Brag
166.
much.
Yeah.
Brag much.
But every job I've ever had, and never really had a real job, was always on my feet. So it was either serving in a restaurant or working in a gym. So like when people
Always
were like,
moving.
oh, get 10,000 steps, get 10,000 steps. I was like, what the hell is so hard about getting 10,000 steps? I get 10,000 steps before the sun comes
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, Dal and
Yeah.
I have talked about that, where it's like, because again, too, yes, I'm in healthcare, so I'm on my feet all day.
I was like,
So
like
I'm in the same sentiment
before I
as
hired
you.
employees, I was averaging like 24,000 steps a day, like
Right.
easily. But then when the pandemic came around and the gym shut down, I would just run one Zoom class online, and that would basically be my work for the day, and then just sit around and play video games and watch anime like I used to do in high school. And then
You put on weight?
yeah, and then my weight stuff. But since we were still allowed to go into our businesses, we just weren't allowed to have customers. Like, oh, I kept my regular workout schedule, went in, did my lifting and stuff. So my workouts were the same, and then I would purposely walk our dog like more times than usual, like 3-4 times in a day. And then I was barely getting to like 8,000 steps. And then my
Exactly,
weight
because it's
was like
hard.
slowly creeping up. And
Yeah.
I was eating a lot more too, because when I was working, I basically wouldn't eat till like lunchtime. Now and then, so I'd
And
have
more
like
available time.
2 meals a day, and now I'm having like
But
5.
that's a cool.
Yeah.
But isn't that an amazing experience though, to, okay, fine, COVID sucks, all that stuff. Like I get it, but like to see, like to actually put you in a position that you're not used to and
Yeah.
that has never been your
And you
norm.
survived it.
And you
That's
survived
right.
it, and you were able to see the other side of it, though.
Yep.
You're able to now come from a perspective like, okay, I fucking get it. I get it why maybe your average person working a desk job, with an hour commute each way, 8 hours in the office, completely like
It gave
glued
you
to their
perspective to be
Yeah,
able to also see the other side of it for, like, let's say another client where they're like, I have a hard time. And then you're like, okay, I can understand that, because now
Yeah.
you tune back to like, okay, when COVID was there, I was less active and it was a struggle to get 8,000 steps. So I get it. I see.
Yeah,
I
even
feel you.
with intention, yeah. So like, okay,
Yes.
this is how people with real jobs are. They're sitting at their desk all day, and
Yes.
unless you
Yes.
actively think about it, no one's making you get up and move. So
No.
No, exactly. And that's for real. Like that's why it's like, okay, it doesn't have to be, well, we already know it doesn't have to be 10. It doesn't have to be anything. It just has to be a little bit more than you were doing before. That's exponentially better for you than to not, do it at all. And well, it's no wonder that you two can eat all those burgers and fries. Gosh, wherever you go. I always see this on Blake's stories. I'm like, damn it, I want.
Yeah.
well, we literally have a Teddy's Bigger Burgers, which is, I guess, what would be a mainland chain of it? I guess
Okay.
Shake Shack or something would be the closest thing, but like a
Okay.
local one.
Okay.
I haven't
It's
had
literally right around
Shake
from the
Shack
block.
yet. Okay.
So it's like I timed myself. We made an online order, timed myself walking to it, picking up my order and walking home, and it took 6 minutes.
Nice. Hey, you
And
can't
then-
beat that.
Still walking.
And you walked. You walked to get food.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I were you, I would put the online order in, walk to go get it, eat, and then walk back home.
Yeah. We actually catered burgers for our wedding from
Good.
that
I'm
place.
not
Yeah.
surprised. I'm not
Yeah.
surprised. Yes,
I like
nice,
that.
nice.
I like that, though. I like that.
So
Nobody
is
wants like buttoned up food.
So is the pineapple and barbecue sauce on a burger like,
That's not a common thing.
have you guys ever had
Or on
that?
pizza. Yeah.
No,
There's nothing Hawaiian about
that's
pineapple
an
on pizza.
American. That's like a
I
yeah.
think
I won't say
Hawaiian
it.
is a Canadian thing. We
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
pineapple. I love Hawaiian pizza.
I mean, I'll eat pineapple on my pizza, but it's just, it wouldn't be my first go-to choice by any
See,
means.
I don't like it on any other pizza but Hawaiian. I'm putting it in air quotes. Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah, how did that happen anyways? How did it get dubbed the Hawaiian pizza? Just because of a pineapple?
I think
Because of the tropical fruit.
and it was like the Dole company, which was associated with Hawaii. And I think
There you go.
a Canadian made it, but because they used the pineapple from Dole,
It
they
became
dubbed it a
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian pizza, and they ran with that name forever.
When you guys
And meanwhile, all Hawaiians are squirming. They're like,
we also have the Hawaiian burger. It's like a round slice
no,
of
we call it a
pineapple.
teriyaki burger here in the
Or
States.
teriyaki. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
teriyaki, whatever. I don't know what, but yeah,
And
teriyaki.
I will not.
No, it's not that bad, actually.
No. I want my pineapple fresh or in a Dole Whip.
Okay, how about this? When you two come to Edmonton for Andrew's conference, hopefully he has it next year.
I was gonna say, is it back on?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Who knows?
Breaking
Nothing.
news.
No, I'm
We're
just
gonna start
saying.
announcing
Fingers
dates
crossed.
and stuff.
Well, because I had thought about it. I had thought about it. Just so you know, it's gonna be a 2-for-1. I go to a
Yeah.
conference and I'm in town.
And you're
with
gonna come
you.
stay with me. Yeah, all my friends that are coming, like we're gonna
I
go.
don't know if I can
party
stay with you
one night.
because you're gonna want to party all fucking night, and I'm like, I
You've
want
heard it here first.
bedtime.
October 12th to 14th, 2027. Andrew staying
Yeah,
with you.
Andrew, the evolved, right? We're kidding. We have no idea if it's happening or if it's gonna
Well, I
happen.
know he was kind
But
of
let's
buzzing
just-
about it a little bit, about talking about trying to get it back in.
Yeah. So hypothetically, if it does, then you guys come here
Mhm.
and I will introduce you to Hawaiian pizza.
But no, you're okay.
So when I come there, what is it that you guys are gonna get
We're
me to
getting you
try?
spam musubis. You've been
Yeah,
talking
you need
about it for how
spam
long?
musubi, you need loco moco.
Exactly, right?
Somebody said they were getting spam musubis for you guys at the Vegas conference, and it never happened.
No, you said you said you were gonna send Carrie to get us spam musubi.
Yeah.
Jerk.
Never
never-
happened. I know. I want you can talk a big game here.
I know.
Okay.
I said I was gonna
Nothing-
get. What did I say? I said I was gonna bring cookies. I brought the cookies. I said I was gonna go get
Yeah.
donuts. I got the donuts. Come on,
Mhm.
step up.
I'm a guy who talks a
Exactly.
big game and doesn't follow through. Is that shocking at this point?
I know.
said
I've
at the
already been ordered to bring ube brownies by Ron.
Right,
I was like,
right.
okay. I said brownies out on the
We
wild
were
news. By
referring
the
to-
way, he was
We
like,
were
I
referring to
was
brownies.
yeah, I was talking
Okay,
about
okay.
us being
Yeah,
brownies.
so I was thinking too. I was like,
I was
nothing to do
referring
with
to
food.
us as being brownies, and then here comes Aram, the Russian,
The white guy.
the white Russian Jew, that was like, yes, please bring brownies, ube brownies. I'm like, whoosh.
I was thinking Carmi was talking about snacks, but not food.
Us is the snacks. Us snacks. I wasn't talking about bringing snacks.
Yeah.
We're talking about us. Yes,
Being
as
the
these
snacks.
See, you get it. The nieces got it.
Of course, the nieces get it. I mean,
I was like,
I
how do
mean-
I say it without sounding too wild and out of control? I was like, oh,
It's like-
I promised entertainment. I think I fulfilled that. So, yeah, you
I mean,
guys fell
yeah.
short. You guys, no, you,
No,
Blake
me?
fell short.
I
What are you
like, wait,
pointing
I'm
to?
like-
I can't tell
I'm
what you're
like,
pointing.
wait.
You're
I'm like,
just
there's
pointing
two
at the
yous here.
screen.
I was like,
Blake.
I was like, excuse me, no, I did not fall short because I told it like it was.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's
was
Blake.
like, Mama needs sleep. Mama needs to spend time with her husband. There's no kids present.
Exactly. No, it was a good
Oh my
time
God.
though. RCS was a good time. Did you already bought in, Blake?
Yep. I already got
Everything?
next year's ticket. Yep.
You
Yeah,
and
both of
wifey
you
or
coming?
just you?
I'm not sure this time.
Okay.
I'm sure
you
she'll
only
come
just-
again. I mean, if it's as long as it's in Vegas, she'll probably just come anyway. But
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
that's right. She didn't. Yeah, that's right. So you only had to buy one ticket, anyways. I bought 2 tickets because I was
Yeah.
like, just come eat. I'm like, come eat.
Well, we're
I bought
yeah,
at
and we're
least 2 tickets last time.
yeah, at least two. Well, we're staying an extra day before. We're coming in Saturday and leaving Thursday. So
yeah, so we're
you
making
guys already
it a
got it
5-day
planned out.
trip.
I just
Yeah,
bought
oh,
the
no,
ticket.
we
already
were-
booked. We're
Yeah,
booked.
no, we already talked about it. We talked about it upon like return back home. We were like
Yeah.
reminiscing and like recapping, and we're like, maybe we should just come in on Saturday. And I was like,
Yeah.
it's not a bad idea because I actually was the one that initiated the staying a day later because we had talked about the previous year and how like we didn't stay out as long as we wanted to because of my husband having to drive. So he was like, okay, he's like, just stay a day extra. And then this year we came back, we're like, we should just come in a day earlier because it's just a lot. It's a lot for
Yeah.
traveling and then getting set up and then like checked in and then the events of the night. And I was done. This was
Yeah.
never done, but I was done.
And it's cheap. But it's cheap. The rooms are cheap. So
are,
why
yeah.
not? Right.
For the
For
strip.
all the extra days, even the extra days, it's still $75. So there
Yep.
you go.
I think
Yeah.
this past one, we came in a day earlier, like Saturday, because
Oh, okay.
welcome was but we stayed in downtown because I think this past year the the block didn't go into
Yeah, it
Saturday.
didn't count it.
It
No.
didn't,
So
but
it
I bet
was
you.
like
I'll
the
tell you
normal
what
price.
though. I tell you what though, because the block didn't account for the extra day that we stayed, but they ended up accommodating it anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
And then we like to stay in
anyways.
downtown Vegas anyway, because that's where all the Hawaii people are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know
Oh,
that.
I didn't know that. Okay, didn't know that you guys had your own segregated
Is there like a
community.
district?
Yeah,
Yeah, is
only
there like a Hawaiian
yeah, you have
district?
to show your state ID to get into those casinos and stuff. I'm just joking.
What?
I'm just joking.
I
oh
knew he
my
was
God.
supposed to say that. I was like, you're so full of it. You're talking about like where Fremont Street is and stuff, right?
Yeah, so the
We need to do that next
Fremont,
year.
California
Yes,
Hotel, and Main
yes.
Street are owned by the same company, Boyd
I've
Companies,
been
and
there before.
they have a long time partnership with Hawaii. There's even like a
Oh, okay.
vacations Hawaii package that used to be super cheap, like $500 gets you like 5 nights stay, food and
Wow.
everything, and airfare included.
Is that Old Vegas? Is that considered Old Vegas?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. It's really cool actually at night. Like it's a whole
Actually, I've
different
never been
scene.
there. In
It's
all the
actually-
times I have done so many trips to Vegas, but I've never done.
It's a super
you
cool
go.
vibe to just walk on the street and just go from casino.
Yes.
Like and
people
on the strip,
ziplining
it takes
in the
like
middle?
10 minutes just to get from one casino to the next.
Yeah.
Whereas in like downtown Vegas, it's just right next door. Boom, next casino. Boom,
Yeah.
next casino. Yeah.
Oh
And it's
yeah, we
really-
were talking about
Perfect.
that. It's even worse right now, navigating and walking through Vegas. Like we took I think it was a 1.2 mile walk, but it ended up being 30 minutes. And I was like, what the
Mhm.
hell? Because of all the like going up and around.
Ups, downs.
And so
Yes.
I started saying not a regular mile, a Vegas mile, because it was
No,
ridiculous. For us,
no.
the trek to get donuts. I was like, damn, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, downtown's really fun. You can just walk around and if you want to be cheap, like lots of free entertainment just walking around.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh, and to gamble too, because my husband actually 2 years ago went with a friend up to downtown Vegas.
Oh yeah,
to
it's a lot cheaper to
'cause-
gamble there.
Yeah, because he likes
Okay.
to play craps, and so the buy-ins were cheaper.
Yeah, you
Cool.
can get like $5 minimums and stuff.
Yeah, whereas like where we're at, it's 15, 20.
Yeah.
He's like, "Where's my money?"
Goes by real quick on the strip.
Yes. All right.
Oh,
well,
wow.
Blake, closing
Wait,
thoughts.
wait.
Oh, no,
we
wait,
have
wait.
to talk about, just one quick thing, Blake. We got to talk about 50 Shades of Brown here.
50 Shades of Brown. Okay.
50
Didn't know.
Shades of
Fifty
Brown.
I knew it
Brown.
was something important.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's zung that one in. I didn't know we were talking about that.
No, so it's our inside joke because his meals are always so brown, right? Like 50 Shades of Brown. I'm like, where's the color, dude? But Blake, you too. Let's just I want to emphasize repeat meals, simple meals.
Mhm.
Like you're right there with us. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much eat
'Cause-
the same stuff. I like vegetables and fruit and stuff. It's just
Yeah.
that nobody else in the house eats it, so I don't have it that much. But
Yeah. Yeah, but you do. Like I see your stories and stuff. You're eating the same shit every day as well.
pretty much,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and I never thought that was a weird thing until like I get more because I train so many clients. I get all these perspectives, and then I realize I'm actually kind of a weirdo. It only took me
But-
30-something years to realize that I'm a weirdo.
Yeah,
But
but
really
you're
not, though.
though.
Really
Yeah,
not, because
maybe-
people eat the same takeout foods on
That's
rotation.
true too. Yeah.
They just don't think about it when it comes to our meals, because all three of us are very much repeat meals, same thing, simple food, because it's just less thought, it's less effort, it just keeps it
Yes.
simple.
Like a lasagna deconstructed is it's simple ingredient meals, pasta sauce and cheese,
Cheese and
right?
meat.
Like that's it, right? And so yeah, so you're just alluding to that. So you do get clients that come in, they're just like, "Oh, what are you talking about? Like this is not how I eat." But they do.
Oh yeah,
right?
or like they'll give me crap on my Instagram and stuff, and like
Yeah.
just like out of fun, right? Just like, or even yesterday, right? I posted, and I purposely now just for fun, I purposely make my food look like dog food and stuff, and
You
like
make it look like
and then I
healthy
see-
food.
then I season and stuff after. I put sauce and stuff after, but or like I'll leave like my ground turkey like all in big clumps and stuff just to piss people off.
I know it was
Especially
so gross
especially
when I see
my
that.
Dola, yeah.
That's so funny, because my kids, the puppy that we're bringing home, like right now we're going to do puppy food for him, because I want to make sure he's getting all his like nutrients.
Mhm.
And then the kids are like, I thought you were going to make the dog food. I was like, I will when he's older. They're
Yeah.
like, well, what are you going to make
Right.
him? I'm like, ground meat, lean
Yeah.
ground meat, peas, carrots, and bloops. And they're like, that's what you eat. And I was like,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because of the dog in me, but yeah. But yeah, so now like ever since like Mike, it always pisses Mike Dola. It used to piss Mike Dola off, so I would like leave it like unseasoned and like in big
So you
clumps
did
and
it on
stuff.
purpose.
But then yeah, yesterday I posted like rotisserie chicken and then egg white and cheese, and then but then like made it like just not even like fully cooked yet. Like we were like, oh, that's gross. Like yeah, but then people were like, oh, that's gross, and I was like, it's rotisserie chicken, egg white, and cheese. Like you don't eat chicken, and I mean, besides it being egg white, like why is it so much different than chicken,
Yeah.
eggs, and cheese? Yeah. It
Yeah,
just
no, it's wild. I know. But like that concept for me too, though, like simple ingredient meals or just have separate ingredients and then put them together and do whatever. Like, I don't know. I guess even for myself, like when I think back, yeah, I just came, my whole mindset set and thought process was like casserole type meals and everything's kind of mixed together and you just didn't really extract that from that. Like
Mhm.
that, no, it's just, they're all single ingredients. It's just how you put it together, right?
Yeah.
So add some color to that bitch. Okay. We want to
He's
see
got
more
color
color, Blake.
sometimes. He
I
adds
know he
color
does.
sometimes.
There's
I
some
see it.
green, some red,
There's some.
maybe.
It's like underneath the brown.
Yeah, but like,
He
what is
does
like the
that to just
point?
piss off
Why do
people.
people want to add, or what's the point of adding colors to add like nutrients and vegetables and stuff, right? But it's like I
Yeah.
eat that on the side,
The
or
micros,
like
yeah.
Oh,
fruit.
yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
all it's balanced meals and stuff. It's just happens to not be colorful, but
Yeah.
because people say to add different colors is like a natural multivitamin. Like if you add a bunch of different colors, chances are you're covering your bases nutrient wise, and it looks more appealing, right, for people to eat.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't really
Right.
care how my food looks like. I'll eat it
Yeah.
anyway. So for me, I don't need that visual stimulus to like want to eat it.
Oh, that's
And
actually a good
Right.
point. That's a
That
very good
is,
point.
yeah.
That is a
that's
very
the
good
that's the
point.
reason color. Yeah, that's why like fruits and stuff are all colorful, because before when people were hunting, if they see bright colorful fruits, it's probably nutritious, and if they see bland looking stuff in the wild, it's probably not good to eat.
Oh, look at Blake schooling us.
Hey
Thank
there,
you.
Blake. All right, tapping
Oh,
into his
smarter than he
natural
looks. Look
hunting
at that.
gathering skills, his caveman
SMR.
skills. He's like, yes, when I was
Not
a
just a
caveman, when my
smart ass.
ancestors were a caveman, they just knew bright is good, bland is bad.
And then yeah,
Carmi.
most people,
Yeah.
I've learned the perspective that most people, the biggest joy some people get is out of their food. Like that is
Right.
their
Yeah.
main dopamine hit, and like that's their time to themselves. Not that I don't enjoy eating, but it's like that's not eating is not like the highest joy of my
There's a
life.
time
or
and a
whatever,
place
yeah.
for that to be amusement and enjoyment, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Right.
but
Like
yeah,
Well, you
like
get
you
there.
and yeah, like you and
some
Carrie
people
went
have a
out and
slightly
did
more
stuff.
stressful lives than I do, or with like actual
Yeah.
kids and real jobs and that stuff. So it's like that eating
No, but
time
that's
is
all the
kind of
more
the
reason
thing.
for them to keep their food simple.
Mhm.
So people like Dal and I who are busy with kids and jobs and stuff and life, like that would be the main reason why you would want to keep it simple. Keep
Mhm.
that shit
Yeah.
low level so that all the rest of the shit doesn't overwhelm you.
Yeah. It's kind of like also, for me, I say like I indulged in enough shit for like 2 decades for the
Mhm.
wrong reasons. And so now food just doesn't have that hold on me anymore, obviously, because I've done the work and all of that. But like, it's just, it really is. I know this is cliche, but it is like I'm just eating for the sake of eating. Like do I enjoy it? Yes. Do I enjoy what I eat? But it's just okay. It's not like out of this world crazy delicious or anything like that. But when like going back to Carmi's point, I do enjoy it, but it has to be with friends, going out for dinner or
It
some
has to be
sort
an
of dinner party.
experience.
Yeah, exactly, right? So,
Yeah. That's so funny.
yeah.
We're all like on the same thought process of that because our Rom had posted something about meals out, and then I had like responded back where I was like, I'll add to the fact that it also has to do with the experience is heightened with the company that you're with.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
all that
So,
matters. But again, you should look forward to those types of meals as that dopamine hit because of everything collectively, not just because you're like, I'm a sad Sally and I need a dopamine hit from this In-N-Out burger or this Teddy's burger right now.
but Blake has always been in it. We've arrived, to where we're at. And there's some people that are still figuring shit out and it just takes time, right?
Yeah.
So you guys will get there if you're not there. It'll happen.
Yeah, I grew up watching Popeye, so I always liked spinach.
Yeah.
That's not even a joke. That's why I started eating spinach.
Did you really?
Like I want to
Yeah.
look like Popeye
It worked. It
with his
worked.
scrunched up face in the pipe.
Yeah, so like yeah, Popeye eats
Look at
spinach,
Blake.
and then
You can see it.
for school lunch, like they have like that cream spinach looking thing
Oh,
for
yeah.
like school. And so I always like pounded that because I was like, oh, Popeye eats spinach and he's jacked, so
But nothing happened. You
nothing
still were
happened.
100 pounds.
But I always grew up eating, yeah, but then I always grew up eating vegetables and stuff because of like Popeye and stuff. So,
That's
and it was never like a
awesome.
big deal to me. And I didn't realize that people didn't like vegetables until later. And I was like, why don't you guys like vegetables?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna like start putting that on YouTube for my kids. The sailor. Maybe they'll eat more vegetables. All right. Okay, Carmi, you were about to close it up. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, just
let's
closing thoughts, Blake, for our audience.
Closing thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Popeye. Make your kids watch
Watch Popeye.
Popeye. Make your kids. I
go
mean,
to the
yeah, like
gym.
I think the biggest takeaway, especially for the audience that just like the moms and all that, is that the kids are going to copy what you do, right? Like you can tell them
Yeah.
what to do all you want. Really, at the end of the day, they're
Right.
going to end up copying what you do. So not to be like not you're not to say that you're a bad parent if you're not staying in shape and all that, but just know that if you're not showing the importance of taking care of your body and your health, no matter how hard you're trying to take care of
Mhm.
your kids and be a good parent, it's what they see, right?
Yeah.
If your kids see you in the gym, even if they're not working out themselves, they see you taking care of yourself in a healthy way, and it not even you're not even being a big deal. It just comes naturally. They're going to see that every day, and very likely chance it'll come naturally for them too. But if they see you not taking care of your
Mhm.
body, like what you call like what you
Food
call
wise too.
food wise too, yeah, they see you
Mhm.
like coping with stress with like raiding the pantry or
Yeah.
drinking your beers every night and stuff like that, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but they see that and it becomes normal behavior. So
Yeah.
again, you can say whatever you want to your kids, they'll always end up just copying what you do.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%
Mic drop.
for sure.
Rainbow mic drop.
Yeah. And
Wired
it's just a.
AirPods drop.
Okay, is that like a conspiracy thing, frequency, Bluetooth, or you just don't have AirPods?
They never seem to work for the not Zoom calls, but these calls. They always come out fuzzies, and then I use these, and
Okay.
they came out well. So
Okay. I have, yeah. Just saying,
I
is
should have
it a
I should have thought faster and thought of something,
You
but you caught me off guard. I
Well,
was like, "What are you
well,
talking
because I
about?"
asked her that though. But I asked her that though because like one day she had switched over to the wired. I was like, is that because of the conspiracy thing that's swirling
Okay.
around about the Bluetooth stuff?
Yeah, like, no, whatever's
No,
easier
it
in the
just
moment.
sounded better the last time I used it, so I just kept using it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for waking up at the crack of dawn on your
7
fucking
a.m. Crazy,
island. Yeah, on
dedicated.
your island,
Yeah,
surrounded by palm trees and
palm
pineapple
trees and
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 stuff.
spam.
the ocean and salty
And yeah,
seawater.
whatever.
That's why your skin's so glowy, huh? You have
Yeah.
salty seawater Hawaiian air on you.
I'm just sweating because I'm sick. So there's my glow.
Come
She's
here.
febrile. Which one
Oh,
is it?
see
Is it
ya.
Cappy?
They ran in and ran out.
Aw.
Rude.
All right. Okay. So yeah. So
Cappy.
we appreciate you coming on. This was a great episode. Phil missed out. Too bad. So sad. Anyways, if you guys like,
Zing!
there he is. He did come.
I'm losing it. I'm sorry.
All right. All right. We'll cap this off. If you like this episode, if you think it's helpful, can be helpful for anyone that you know, please share it, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. And until next time, bye.
Bye bye.
Don't hang up, Blake.